All right, to those that are just joining again, welcome you all to our meet and greet for ISPA, which is Insight Pennsylvania. And if you're just joining, feel free to state your name and what part of the state you're coming from in our chat box. Just as a way that we can welcome those that are in the room. And I see a couple people that have joined. Welcome. Please note this is going to be recorded. So if you're unable to stay for the entire time, I will make that available to everyone that is registered. But we're going to go ahead and get started. So again, this is our meet and greet for Insight Pennsylvania and Insight Pennsylvania Cyber Charter School. And you'll be meeting some of our staff from the school. They'll be telling you a little bit about the school, and we'll also find out about positions that are open currently for their school as well. Just as some housekeeping rules, any questions regarding status updates, if you've applied and you're finding out, I haven't heard anything or whatnot, we won't be able to do that over the webinar today. And any specific questions regarding salary that you'll need to connect with your recruiter. We have provided an email address for our recruiter for ISPA, but we also have some other recruiters that are joining us today as well, and they'll be introducing themselves. So please note that as well. If you're coming from outside of Pennsylvania, just know that the event is for educators that are within the Pennsylvania area. So just so you know that as well. We will be having a QA session, so you'll be able to put your questions in our QA box. You'll see that in a bar towards either it's at the top of your screen or at the bottom, but you'll be able to put in questions and we'll answer those as well. All right, so let's meet our panelists. I'm going to have each of them just to hop on the microphone and to just tell us their name, their position, and how long they've been with ISPA. And then after that, we will just talk a little bit about what Stride is. So I will start with Julie, and then after Julie, we'll go according to the photos on the screen.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming today. We really appreciate your attendance and interest in our school. My name is Julie Jaskar. I'm the Chief Academic Officer. I actually have worked at Insight. It will be 2 years, I believe, next week. And I'm just so glad that I'm here. It's been a really great place to work, wonderful atmosphere, and most importantly, a team atmosphere. The people that you're going to meet coming up next are administrators at the school, and I can't say enough great things about them, which makes my work so much more fulfilling and easy because they do such a great job. So welcome again, and we hope you enjoy today's information.
Kelly, if you want to go ahead.
Okay, I think we're all on different spots on the screen. My name is Kelly Brynarski. Hi, everyone. I'm the elementary principal here at Insight, and I've been with the school since the first year. So this will be my 5th year.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah Anoski. I'm the Director of Special Education, and this is my 3rd year at ISPA.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I am Allison Wallace, and I am our middle school principal, and I have been here for 4 years. Thanks for joining us.
Good afternoon. I'm Megan Miller. I am the high school assistant principal, and I have also been here for 3 years. And again, want to welcome all of you to today's session.
Hello. My name is Jamise McConaughey, and I'm an academic recruiter with the company. And I have only been here for about 6 months, so it's exciting to be speaking to you all today.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Courtney Jacob. I am the Senior Manager, Academic Recruiting Department, and had the pleasure of helping launch ISPA during its first year about 5 years ago. So excited for you all to hear about this school.
Thank you so much, everyone. And again, you'll be hearing from them in a little bit. So if this is your first event that you've gone to from us, you may have seen K-12 or seen commercials or whatnot, but wanted to give you a brief background on who Stride is. We recently changed our name to Stride, and that is because we if you see in our commercials, we talk about education is for everyone, and we do believe that. But we also realize that education just doesn't stop at your senior year of high school, that it's lifelong. So we've also acquired a few more companies to Stride, which is Tech Elevator, Hack Reactor, MedCerts, and Galvanize. And these companies help along with coding. They provide coding boot camps. Now, as far as MedCerts, they help with medical certification for students after they've graduated high school, and that's a career path for them. So we have acquired those companies. But K-12, again, formerly K-12, now Stride, we've been around for over 20 years now, and we are the leading provider of online education for the grades K through 12. But we've also included college prep courses, as well as the companies that I have just mentioned that talk more about the career readiness and preparing them for the workforce. So just a little bit of background, just in case this is your first time hearing about us. You will see the logo for K-12 for our schools, so that has not gone away, but Stride Inc. is still a part of us. So I'm going to turn the microphone over to Julie, and she's going to tell us a little bit about ISPA. And then after that, we will talk about how virtual teaching works here at Stride, and hear from our different administrators for elementary, middle school, and high school. So Julie, feel free to jump on that.
Hi, everybody. So Insight Pennsylvania Cyber Charter School was started about 5 years ago. And we're a K through 8 school, and we fulfill all of students' educational needs. So we have a general education program, special education program, and we also work on a lot of social and emotional supports as well, and support services. So our students have community outreach. So 5 years ago, we started our charter in Pennsylvania, and we partnered with Stride Incorporated K-12. So at that time, Stride did a lot of the heavy lifting, put in place a management team, and did all of the hiring so that we could start up our school successfully. And it was a great partnership, and they did that. As we've evolved, a lot of those positions, the K-12 began and started that structure for us, started moving over to the board section. So we are authorized by a board, and we have several board members that we work with on a daily basis. So right now, as it transitioned, all of the administrators you see here today are board employees. And Stride still partners with us. They provide all of the services that you're seeing here now. They help with finances, human resources, all of the operations at the school, and again, that curriculum and a lot of trainings. So it's been a really great partnership. And then on the board side, with that curriculum, we do a lot of extensive training with our teachers of how to use that curriculum to make sure that we're differentiating for all of our students. We have a very strong multi-tiered system of support for our students, where we're really analyzing the data of each individual student and providing interventions and personal pathways for their education. So as an Insight teacher, You would be teaching synchronous classes with your students. You would have intervention time with your students. Lots of professional learning and PLC groups with your colleagues to ensure all of our students are moving forward. So, you know, really, it's a great partnership, not only with K-12, but with your teaching team and partners. So we do a lot around professional development and making sure our kids are taken care of. Who our kids are, well, they can come from all over the state. So within the Commonwealth, our students, any of our students can enroll to the school. And currently we have about 4,100 students, and we have about 200 teachers. So we, you know, at the elementary level, we look for those elementary certificates. And then as we go in the higher grade bands, we're really looking for, you know, the science teachers, math teachers, but we also have a lot of support staff that we employ and ensure that that whole child approach is used in educating our students. So some of the things that we'd be looking for are certificates in Pennsylvania. A little later, we'll go into some emergency cert opportunities that the school has, and we'll look at that later, but we do require all of our staff to live within Pennsylvania or, you know, a 20-mile ride into that. So that's important for you guys to know. So that's pretty much the overview. And again, we'll have time for questions and answers, and there'll be more information coming in the next slides.
Thanks so much, Julie. So now I want to give our admins time to talk about their particular school as we talk about how does virtual teaching here at Stride work. I'm going to start with Kelly as she's our elementary principal. So I'll have her start, and then followed by middle school with Allison, and then Megan, and then I would like Sarah just to tell us a little bit about the special education piece for ISPA.
Great, thank you, Andrea. So again, I'm Kelly Brynarski. I'm the elementary principal here at ISPA. I've been with the school now for about 5 years, and this is my 4th year as principal at the elementary level. Our grades in the elementary program are K through 5, I'm sorry. And we follow, just as Julie said, a multi-tiered system of support for our students. So as a prospective candidate, I can tell you that what that looks like for you, obviously, teachers need to be available Monday through Friday from 8 to 4 p.m. We have about 2 hours of prep time during the day in our schedule for our teachers. You will have a variety of students on your list. So you'll have tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 students on your list. We offer for our families, we really rely on our learning coaches within our program to help get our students through the online curriculum. But we do offer not just that asynchronous model, but we also offer a synchronous path where students, depending upon their need, really is a prescriptive approach. Depending upon their need is what they really get. So we have families and students that are tier 1 and they're proficient and advanced, and they can just work through their curriculum very well at home with their learning coaches one-on-one. And then we have students that are, they're tier 1, but their families would like the support of that highly qualified teacher. So then we offer that as well. The highly qualified teacher would take them through the curriculum and work daily to get through the online school curriculum. And then we have some general ed teachers who we consider homeroom teachers, that they support our tier 2 and our tier 3 student population. And they give live instruction daily to those students in the areas of ELA and math. We offer some STEM some STEM availabilities. We have guidance counselors that offer support for our students. And then in the afternoon, we do a lot of progress monitoring and data collecting for our students so that we can really develop and have the very best program we can for our K-5 student population. So I think that's about in a nutshell. I'll go ahead and turn it over to Allison.
Thanks. Hi, everyone. So as Kelly mentioned, she's K-5. We cover 6th, 7th, and 8th grade at our middle school. We do have some similarities to the elementary program. We have about 2 hours a day built in for prep time for our teachers. The largest difference at the middle school is that our teachers are content area specific. So our students are placed on a team of 4 content area teachers, 1 math, 1 ELA, 1 history, 1 science, and the students share all of those teachers and work together on a team. So our teachers only teach 1 subject area, and they are working with the same group of students throughout the week. We do have our sessions broken down based on student needs, and we want to make sure we're individualizing our instruction a little bit. So we have some sessions throughout the week that are for our students that are on level, tier 1. They might need some extension into their learning plan. And then we have support sessions for our tier 2 and tier 3 students. Sometimes those look like the same as tier 1, but they're moving at a slower pace, or maybe they have some remediation built in or different content that they're really using to hone in on those skill gaps that the students might have. At the middle school, we also offer a robust electives program that students have the opportunity to join different electives as they see fit and that fit into their schedules. And we also have clubs that some of our staff hold after school at 4 o'clock on different days of the week. I'll pass it over to Megan. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Allison. At the high school, we have a similar model to the middle school in terms of schedule. Our teachers teach Monday through Thursday, and they teach anywhere from about 3 to 4 hours a day, and the other times throughout the day are for team meetings, co-teaching meetings, and for prep time. We also do a lot of connection calls with families to really build our high school community and make sure that we are staying in constant communication with our families, learning coaches, and students as well. Within the teaching model, we also follow very closely an MTSS model where we provide targeted supports for our tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 students based on data, benchmark assessments. We use common formative assessments per unit and really dive into the data to make sure that our students are getting the individualized attention that they need and deserve. On Fridays, we do something a little bit different in the high school. We have what's called academic coaching, where we are able to really work with some of our students who may just need that extra attention from the teachers and can really hone in and provide that specific personalized approach to learning and supports as well. We also have a writing center, so very similar to what a college has, where students can drop in for writing support. Our teachers also have, our students also have a variety of electives and career and technical educational courses to choose from. And this year we are implementing advanced placement courses. So in the 4 content areas and in foreign language, we are bringing in advanced placement courses, and we're really excited to lift that program up the ground and give that opportunity for our students. In addition, we do have some dual enrollment opportunities. We really want to get our kids as prepared as possible for post-graduation and just really setting them up to be successful after they graduate. We also have the counselor connection sessions on Friday as well to provide some of those social emotional learning opportunities. We do use the 7 Mindsets curriculum. And as I mentioned, some clubs as well, or I think Allison mentioned that we do have clubs. We have esports in the high school, and we're also bringing in some new ones that we're really looking forward to, including the travel club, yearbook, and so forth. So a lot of really great opportunities for our families and students at the high school.
Great. And Sarah, if you could just share a little bit about the special education, how that is handled here at ISP as well.
Sure. So we have special education, K to 12. We work really closely with all of our principals and making sure that all of our students that are identified as special education receive what they need on an individual basis. So our teachers, depends on what we need. We are co-teaching, we have learning support. We also offer resource rooms so that we can work on individual goals for our students. So our schedules do look very similar to what the principal shared for our teachers at the grade bands that they may be assigned to. We do provide related services, OT, PT, all of those things, just like you would in a brick and mortar setting. So that's kind of our life in a nutshell. Special education could go on forever, but nitty gritty, quick overview. We're just part of the team. We're doing it just on a more individual basis.
Great, thank you. So we're going to share just a little bit about the benefits that you could possibly receive if you decide to join ISPA. I'll let Julie to give us just some more context to that. And then afterward, I'll have either Jamise or Courtney to talk about the open positions and how they can apply.
So, one of the things that I mentioned is the professional learning that we provided ISPA. And that starts day one. You'd be we have 2 employees dedicated to professional development that really onboard all of our employees and give that overview within all of our departments, whether that be finance, human resources, operations, technology, etc. So we onboard, and then immediately you would be linked with your supervisor and a mentor. So everyone has a mentor to take them through a structured how-to on your position. And they are supported absolutely daily, in addition to our professional development coordinators that would be working with you and your mentor. We've also provided instructional coordinators that look at the quality of instruction because we know it's a big leap maybe from people that are coming from a brick and mortar background to a virtual background, and what are the ins and outs of a virtual classroom. So not only do you have the support of your mentor, who is a peer that has already gone through that learning curve that you'd be about to embark on, but you'd have your administrators, like I said, a professional development coordinator, an instructional coach, and your entire team of PLC groups to ensure that all of our staff are fully comfortable with the position prior to being with that first kid. As I mentioned as well, K-12 gives a plethora of resources and training to augment the training that you'd get from the Insight employees. They have a whole host of libraries of professional learning that all of our employees can access so that you can feel more comfortable in your skills while developing the skills and academics of your students. In regards to benefits, we do offer full medical, dental, vision, flexible spending accounts, disability, short-term disability, FSA accounts, hospitalization supplement programs, personal time off, and 503Bs. So, we're very competitive in regards to benefits, time off, and, supporting our staff financially so that you can really focus on the kids. We also offer tuition reimbursement, which is going to be a very important component. If you wanted to seek further education, that is up to $2,500 a year. If you require a certificate in Pennsylvania, we pay full tuition to ascertain that certificate. So currently, we have a lot of positions open in special education, math teachers, science teachers. So we can pay for those certificates and give you emergency certification through the state. And as I said, the state has some stipulations in regards to your coursework that you're required to complete to maintain that emergency certification. And again, one of our greatest benefits is that we would pay for that in Insight PA. That's the pretty much overview of the benefits.
Thank you so much. Now I'm going to have Janice to just tell us about the positions that we have open, how they can apply, and the process after they've applied.
Okay, well, hello again, everyone. My name is Janice, and like I said earlier, I am an academic recruiter. So when you are interested and ready to apply for one of our positions at Stride, what you would do is, of course, go to the website, www.stridelearning.com/careers. And from there, if you look down at the screen, you'll see for the very first one, teaching and academic support opportunities. That's where you would go to find any of our teaching positions. Now, if you'll change the slide, please. Now, once you do that, it will take you to all of our teaching positions. And from there, after you've taken that first step and clicked on that opportunity specifically for teaching, you would go in and actually type ISPA, which is just the acronym for the school. And that will specifically show you all of the teaching positions and any other positions for ISPA. Once that's been done, you will, of course, register your email account. Please be sure to register using the email account that you use the most. Sometimes people use an email account that they just don't often check, and so they miss important correspondence and things of that nature. So please be sure to use your most active email account that you will be able to check daily or on a continuous basis. And then from there, you just simply apply. If you'll go to the next slide. Now, after you have applied, what happens is I or someone else will see all of your application materials, be it your resume, be it your certification, be it any recommendations or cover letter that you may upload, whatever it is that you upload when you apply. Those are all of the things that we will be able to see. So after you've done that, for our first step, as you see here, you'll wait for the recruiters to review and to vet your application. Now, if you're a teacher, you will be required to do a 30-minute, submit a 30-minute teaching sample and answer a few other questions as well in the virtual interview process. And from there, after you have done that, your information will go to the hiring manager, and the hiring manager will review your HireVue interview, and they will decide whether or not they want to move forward. Now, the same thing happens with the corporate opportunity. So if you're applying for something outside of the realm of teaching or of the actual academic realm, and you want to apply for a corporate position, the same thing would happen there as well. As you can see, you would go through the HireVue on-demand interview. Now, after all of those things have been done, like I said, if a hiring manager is interested in whatever it is that you have submitted, he or she will reach out to you for the final phase of the interview and application process. And from there, you will either be scheduled for a phoner or you'll be scheduled for a quote unquote virtual face-to-face interview. Now, some of the positions that we have available, and these certainly are not all of them, but some of the positions that we do have available at ISPA, or some of the more pertinent positions, I should say, are here on the screen. So right now we're looking to fill for a student support coordinator, a school psychologist, an elementary teacher, a math interventionist teacher, special education. Again, that's so very important. And then in the high school, you can see that, of course, we need science and English and history and math as well. And then some of those same positions for our middle school as well, science, a school counselor, a reading interventionist, and then of course, anything that falls under the STEM umbrella or computer science. So those are, again, these are just some of the positions we have available. We have many, many, many more positions available for you to apply. And you can see a comprehensive list once you do that teacher search that we talked about earlier on the website.
All right, thank you so much, Jimmy, for giving us that information. I will have Courtney Buchanan to talk a little bit about our interview day that we plan on having next week, and she'll give you more details on that.
Hi, yes. So next Friday, we are going to be having an interview day for ISPA. It will be from 12 to 4, and then listed below are the positions that you'll be able to interview for. I'm putting in the chat right now the link to sign up. You can interview for high school, English, social studies, math, or science, middle school science counselor, reading interventionist, and a computer science teacher. Then you can also interview for an elementary school teacher, special education, or the school psychologist. You'll be able to click which one you're interested in the form. And then once you fill that out, we will send you a link to schedule your interview, which will again be next Friday. Very exciting, and you'll get to interview directly with the principals. So we encourage you to sign up as soon as you can.
Thank you so much, Courtney. And again, if you're watching this as a replay, because again, we have recorded this, you can also, we'll be sending this out to all of our registrants. And again, make sure you fill out your information. Let us know what position that you are looking for, and we will send you a link to schedule your interview, and make sure you have that scheduled by Wednesday. That way we can make sure you're all set to go for next Friday. And I also wanted to pause to give folks that are watching a chance to join our talent community. Again, you can scan the QR code. That way you can receive our newsletters that we send out. This talks about the different events that we have, or different hot jobs, or different events that we might be doing outside of Stride. So make sure that you scan the QR code. We'll also put it in the chat box. And you can also follow us on our platforms, which is Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter under Careers at Stride. And we also, if any of our admins want to put in the chat box as well, I know that they also have a Instagram account, Insight Pennsylvania. So you can also follow them as well. All right, so we've come to the portion where everyone can participate. Just some question and answers. You can use the QA box if you'd like, or you can put a question in the chat box and we'll be able to answer those for you all. I'll get us started just to give folks a chance if they want to type in their questions. But I did want to ask all of our panelists, for our admins especially, is there anything that you would notice for those teachers that may be coming from brick and mortar to virtual? Anything that is a distinct difference, or any like challenges that you would have tips for them if they are deciding they want to move to the virtual side for teaching?
What I would say is the most important is to recognize that you have to even be more engaging. Students, in any setting should have a teacher that, engages them, creates a positive culture within the classroom. And that's even more important in the virtual setting. Especially as students get older and the learning coach may be pulling back, you want those students focused on you and the learning, and ensure that it's exciting and that you're inviting that participation within the classroom. So tips and tricks for that are, good lesson preparation, ensuring that you're using a lot of the virtual tools. So polls, having students raise their hand, use the microphones, use the videos, use the chat features. And again, we have so many positions dedicated to guide you in that instruction and give those tips and tricks, in any lesson that you're providing, so that, in a non-intimidating way, we're trying to increase your skills as well.
Did any other of the admins want to share or give any tips for teachers that may be jumping into virtual, or any other tips you may want to give to them? I do see someone they asked, is ISPA a public school in Pennsylvania? And yes, it is. Now, as far as any for class sizes, for our admins, can you give a estimate of what those class sizes typically are in a virtual setting? Are they typically like the size of brick and mortar, or are they different?
So I can answer that one for elementary, at least. Middle school and high school will be different, but we are trying to shoot for a ratio of 50 students to 1 teacher. Now, that is not to say that you would give live instruction daily to 50 students. Most of our live sessions are broken down into smaller, more manageable groups.
So at the middle school, our teachers have about 100 students on their caseload, but they do, again, like Kelly mentioned, break them down into smaller groups. So they would probably have about 30 students per session as they see them in live classes each day.
Is also going to hold true for the high school. We try to keep the number right around 100, maybe give or take a few, but we also hold multiple live sessions for that particular class throughout the day so that the online face-to-face time with the teacher and students is a smaller group.
Awesome, thank you. Now, I don't see any other questions, but one thing I will ask for our recruiters are any tips that you would give for when candidates are applying that you could share to those people that may decide they're going to apply, or anything, any tips that you would want to give those potential applicants and how they can be seen.
Sure, this is Courtney. I can. So I think the biggest thing is just to make sure that any position that you see, if there's more than one, that you're applying for all positions that you're interested in. Per Janice's point earlier, really important that we're using a email address that you will have access to, even if it's after you're going to get hired, because that stays with you. So if you're currently working at a school, don't use that school's work email. Make sure you're using a personal email that's going to be yours for the continuing future. Otherwise, you'll have some issues when we do extend you an offer with getting paperwork and stuff like that completed. Also, I would just say, if you have any questions or wanting to follow up on your resume, I know that the panels will be providing you with Mikkel Jackson's personal email. She's our primary recruiter for ISPA. Feel free to email her directly with any questions regarding your application if you feel like it's been sitting too long. We definitely will, get back to you within 24 to 48 hours of getting that email and making sure that we're getting you guys proper communication. So definitely, those would be my tips. Thank you.
Thanks, Courtney. Someone was asking in the chat if you could discuss a little bit about the video lesson that you submit.
Sure. So as a teacher, being that a lot of your instructions can be data-led instruction, we're going to give you a series of some, we'll email you kind of the pre-work before you will actually have to complete that virtual interview. So you'll be keeping an eye out for a couple of emails. One is going to be an email just giving you the general directions of what that lesson plan audition is going to look like, the data that you should be using to do that. It's a pretty simple process with just creating a YouTube video. You'll save that link, and then you're going to be looking for an email from HireVue, which is our digital interviewing platform that we use. You're going to have a series of questions. There's about 7, I believe, for the teachers. It'll be a combination of some essay questions as well as some video questions for you to answer around your teaching style, and some questions. And then that very last question will be to pop in that YouTube link. So we're going to give you the instructions for you to be able to complete that lesson plan audition before you would jump in to do that digital interview in HireVue.
Awesome, thank you. Now, I just want to give, I'm sorry, I'm working 2 screens. I wanted to put this up here again before I close out. Again, I want to thank all of our panelists that joined today. Thank you all for sharing your experiences and also sharing information about Insight Pennsylvania with us. Again, we will be having a interview day next Friday from 12 to 4. Again, we're listing all of the positions that are available right now that you can possibly interview for. Again, you can fill out the form. It's in the chat box right now, and set that up. That way we can get you a time slot for next Friday. Again, if you are watching the replay of this, you can also, you'll receive an email with the form as well. That way you can still participate next Friday. So we'll be sending that out at the end of this webinar, and we'll also be posting on our YouTube page as well. So again, I want to thank everyone for joining today, and we hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. And also I know that it's Friday and we're going into a Labor Day weekend, so I hope you also enjoy your holiday as well. So thank you again. Again, my name is Andrea Wilson, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, everyone.
Thanks so much, everyone. Bye-bye.